So this would be an easy way to explain it. I had a lot of questions recently, like why is a monochrome camera so much better? Well, this is a main board from a Nikon D500, by the way. And if you look on the other side of the Nikon D500 main board, it says Toshiba. Yeah, I've had too much caffeine. What if, why is a monochrome camera better? Now, of course, we could also be talking about a full spectrum conversion. Why is a monochrome camera so much better? What if you were to go to buy a lens, and it's the lens that you wanted, and you found out that permanently glued to the front of your lens are two filters. Let's say one was a red filter, and the next filter was like a bluish-green filter. You'd be like, well, this sucks. You know, screw this. I'm not buying this lens. And then you came to find out, you woke up the next day like Twilight Zone into a parallel universe. And then you went to the camera store because you wanted that latest, greatest camera. And you realized not only was your latest, greatest camera had two filters glued onto the front of it, like say, instead of your lens mount, there was another mount between the lens mount, and there were two filters permanently attached. And you go, oh crap, this really sucks. Every camera made, digital camera, got two filters between the sensor and the lens. Like, well, isn't that crappy? You know, because filters mess up the light, right? Not only that, they cut down on the light. Well, and a lot of people don't register this in their brain. And here's the answer. Because this camera and every Sony camera, Nikon camera, Canon camera, Olympus, all the same thing. There are always two filters, ever so, in front of that sensor. There's the CFA, the color filter array. Like on the Fuji, it's an X-trans array. It's a Bayer array on the rest of them. Those are filters. Not only are they cutting down on the light, they are pass filters for frequency spectra to hit the photosites. This is how we register and interpolate the actual image, the red, green, blue, and of course the algorithms applied there too to interpret the correct tonality and coloration of the shot. Those are filters. It's just a huge filter array. That's filter number one sitting over top of your sensor. Your second filter, it's rather a dark filter. It's a bluish green, kind of like a dark greenish blue filter, and that's the infrared hot filter or infrared pass filter. It's keeping infrared light from hitting your sensor. Most of it, not all of it. You see, these two filters, are blocking a lot of light that could be hitting the actual sensor. I mean, just imagine if your favorite lens, all of your lenses tomorrow, had two filters permanently cemented on the end of them. I mean, you'd be pissed. You're like, well, this messes with the light, right? This cuts down on the light, and this is an issue. Every camera out there is like that. So the answer to the question, the million-dollar question, is why would a true monochrome camera, and of course, true monochrome camera actually still has an infrared hot filter in front of it. However, it does do miraculous stuff if you take that off and stick like a really, really, really light infrared hot filter. So, you know, when you take black and white photography outdoors, the leaves don't look white, 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 because that's the infrared reflectance of the green leaf. Even in black and white, if you're shooting a full spectrum conversion, all that white light's coming back, all the infrared light's coming back to the sensor. In this case, it would be a true RGB. You should be shooting in black and white, but it would be a true, full spectrum conversion. So, yeah, even a black and white camera has an infrared hot filter, but you could put a really light one over top of it, and but it wouldn't have a color filter array. The color filter array is cutting down quite a lot of light. All those intertonal detail, which adds to the totality of the high definition, or the what was I referring to micro contrast? My correct interpretation of it, would, for people to understand, it'd be high definition, or high fidelity. It'd be a high fidelity light, which would be in reference to low gain intertonal details, that which makes up the actual shot. A lot of people ask what micro contrast is, and answering that is extremely simple. Someone could actually make a pencil drawing of somebody, a really detailed pencil drawing. It's like, well, it's really sharp and everything, but you know, something's missing. It's like, yeah, all those little 10,000 different shades of gray in between those lines, which actually add to the depth of the shot, those are low gain intertonals. That's what the hell micro contrast is. It's just fidelity. High fidelity music. Have you ever listened to some amazing recordings? And I don't just mean binaural recordings. And people actually go to concerts, they stick a microphone on either side of their head. And anytime they turn their head, you feel like you're there when you close your eyes. But a really high definition master recording, it's like, wow, it sounds like you're right there. It's just, you could hear someone coughing and you could like close your eyes like, yeah, that person coughing is sitting like 5 rows behind me and to the left. I know you've heard stuff like that. Maybe some of you haven't, but most of us have. It's the same thing with lenses and the amount of luminal detail. I've had so many really ignorant, stupid, not what, meaning on these photography boards saying, oh, there's some fat tattooed guy talking about micro contrast and all this nonsense, and you know, it doesn't exist, and it's like, these people are so stupid. I mean, how could they be that stupid? I mean, it's just amazing. Incredible ignorance. Just incredible ignorance. Don't know how the camera works, don't know how the hell, you know. That's like telling somebody they don't know the difference between a crappy MP3 recording and like a master. And there are examples out there on YouTube. The only issue with YouTube, however, is better to go to some of these sound websites that actually have the files in their high definition, because YouTube samples all this audio and converts it to MP3 anyway, so you can't actually upload a real good high definition audio sample to YouTube, because for sake of saving space, they convert everything, including really awesome audio, into crappy MP3 output. So there we go. There's the answer to that one. Explained and simple. Because every camera, digital camera in the world, has already got 2 filters over top of it. The CFA, color filter array, and the IR hot filter, pass filter. Thanks so much for watching. This Nikon D500 is dead. Not only that, I ripped the processor off the board. It's definitely not going to work anymore. Here you can see the XQD card slot and the SD card slot. Yep. Your SD card goes there, and your SD card goes there. And it's powered by Toshiba. What's inside your Nikon D500? Toshiba.